What's going on, guys? Manuel Godoy from Black Sands. What's up? All right. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to get into the room, but we are basically here and we are talking about investment. All right. So first, let's have a sound check. Let's make sure that you guys can hear me right. So if you can hear me right, just say yeah, loud and clear in the comment section. All right. Okay, good. So tonight we have a couple of announcements. First things first, we are going to be moving forward with investment in the company within the next 2 weeks. All right. So we might be able to start taking investments as soon as later on this week. We don't know. But basically, we're starting the process now to finally get things done. Um, I'm currently building the website for the production and the studio, and that website's really going to give a lot of the information about the investments that you guys are going to be able to take. But for the most part, what we really need right now is for the first in the first round, which is the first $400,000 of equity investment. We'll go to accredited investors, so that's people who are accredited in the system, and also Kickstarters and Patreon members. All right, because basically the way the legal side of it works is if you don't know us or have already invested in us prior, we can't raise money from you directly during this phase. So in other words, you said that's just the way the law works right now. So we're only keeping the first round open to longtime Patreon or Kickstarter backers and accredited investors. That's people who are approved by and licensed in whatever state that they're in. You understand? Now, what that means is all you guys who are patrons and Kickstarter backers, you'll be able to invest right away. All right? You can invest as much as you want, up to $50,000 each. And the first 400,000, once that's gone, then we're going to go directly to a website like what was it, Micro Ventures. Micro Ventures is a good example. It's basically like Kickstarter but for equity. The last $100,000 we're going to raise is going to be there, and that's when everybody in the public can invest. All right, so that means that anybody, regardless of whether you supported us in the past or not, whether we know you or not, or whether you're accredited, you can still invest in that last $100,000. All right. Now the total ask is going to be $500,000 for 10% of our entire company. That means 10% of our books, 10% of our animations, 10% of the application that we're developing, 10% of everything. All right. That's what we're going to be giving out in this round. All right. This is really cool stuff. It's our pre-seed. It's very exciting. Before I go any further though, I want to see if anybody has any questions. So please leave some questions below if you have any questions at all, and I'll answer those and then I'll get back into what we're talking about. Sabrina Martinez, so 50,000 for each product. No, I'm raising $500,000 in total for 10% of the company, Black Sands Entertainment. All right, so I'm giving away 10% of my equity for $500,000. That's our pre-seed round. It's going to get us the development of our animations and application for the curated Black Comic Books app. All right, Jabari Morgan says, how many investors are you looking for? Well, initially in the private round, which is basically for accredited investors, institutional money, and like patrons and Kickstarters and stuff like that, I'm looking for as little as possible there. So I'm not looking to have more than 20 investors in that initial 400,000. However, during the last 100,000, I want as many as possible. I'm gonna cap the amount people can invest at the on the final 100,000, so I get a wide range of investors. What that's going to do is going to help us beat Instagram and Facebook's algorithm bias, because you know the more owners want to go and overreact to everything, right? They want to see their company succeed. So when you're an owner, you're going to be more you're going to want to hit the like button more. You're going to want to comment more on our posts and stuff like that. And then Facebook and Instagram are going to see that action, and they're going to bump our stuff and want to go viral a lot. All right? That means that I want as many people investing as possible. So after we get past the initial private round, the public round, I want as many people as possible in there. All right, let's see what we got now. Sabrina Martinez says that would be 150,000, right? No, I'm talking about the investment cost. I don't understand that question. I don't understand where these numbers are coming from, Sabrina. All right, so first is there an investment timeline? Well, basically what we're trying to do is our initial investment round should be done by the end of November. After that, we're going to be developing 3 pilots for our animated properties, and we should release them by the summer of 2020. After that, our valuation for our company should go up by about 50%. All right, so everybody's stock should go up by 50%. Once that's done, if we go into the next round and we get entire shows funded, you know, we could have, after about 2 years of development after that point, we should have roughly 900% increase in our valuation, because by then we will have an entire show, series, or feature film out there for branding opportunities. All right, licensing and all that good stuff that comes with that. All right, now as far as who our competition is, we have completely like trounced our competition, you know, and that's why we feel like we have such a powerful play involved. And I'm gonna break that down a little further a little bit later in our video. All right, because it's very important that you guys understand what you're investing in. We're not just some random company, you know. We've been doing this pretty damn good for a while, and we just set up all the cards on deck to make some big wins. Let me answer a couple more questions before I get back into it. Will Tarver asks, how long do Patreon members have to had been members before eligible? 3 months. 3 months is good enough. All right, so if you've been a patron member for at least 3 months, regardless of what tier you were, basically you know us. You knew us before we started talking about this investment round. So legally, we can say that we know you and you know us, and you can invest and nobody will question you. All right, we don't want the government questioning everybody. All right, so we want to make sure that that's it. But just 3 months. Also, any Kickstarter campaign. So if you supported any Kickstarter campaign at all, you're considered an original investor. All right. Let's see. Last thing. Joshua Bent has 2 lines, so let's read this. How did you come up with the number 500,000 for 10% of the company? Also, are you producing revenue now? All right, so in 2018, we had produced about $220,000 in sales across our books for Black Sands, Maury's Family Adventures, and now Cosmic Girls. We also have raised $140,000 through Kickstarter and around $60,000 through Patreon. So in total, we've probably had around $400 to $450,000 in revenue in 2018 alone. Now, our expenses is high because we're growing as fast as we possibly can. So we've probably published like 12 books in the last year. And why we're raising the capital we're raising now is because we want to greatly accelerate our production. You know, we're kind of like doing the Uber thing about things, right? Expand, expand, expand. Don't worry about the cost right now. Let's get as big as we possibly can get, and then control the cost later. So what we're doing is in the first 300,000, the 300,000 of that 500,000 is going to the animated pilots for Black Sands, Cosmic Girls, and Maury's Family Adventures. That's purely animation money right there. First 300,000. The next 200,000 is for the application development for the Black Sands curated app. What this app does, it allows us to basically distribute directly to our customers. It also allows other black artists, creators, and everything else to put their content exclusively into their audiences. The problem with black comic books is everybody has to make their own audience. And because of that, they all have to start from the ground up, build up their fan base, and basically they can't get into the industry, so they get stuck. What the application does is it allows them to basically take my audience, because I have the biggest audience right now out there, right? Take a piece of my audience, build a fan base in that, and then grow from there. So they're gonna want to join the application. We already have about 300 episodes worth of content already committed to launch on that application from other creators and ourselves. And because we're exclusively releasing our content through the app once it comes out, it's gonna have massive boost in users. All right. So why 10%? Because our valuation is sound. You know, we've had a ridiculous amount of sales, massive traction with endorsements from Michelle Obama, the Schomburg Center, other key figures, Reed Pop. You know, we're really established right now, and we just got an animation director who's gonna blow you away. I'll talk about him in a second, but let's see. Let me see if I answered that question fully. Believe I did. Yeah. What's the minimum investment? Oh, yeah, minimum investment. That was one. I did skip over that question accidentally. I did read it, but I didn't answer it. The minimum investment for the private round is $500. All right, that's for the private round. However, in the public round, it's going to be a capped investment. All right, so it's different. And the public round is going to be totally capped, so people can't invest more than like X amount of money because I want a more diverse portfolio. However, in the private round, the minimum is 500, the maximum is 50,000. Okay. First, Joshua Bet. I don't know where you got 50 million from. 10% would make it a $5 million evaluation. So $5 million evaluation is what the number is. I think you understand that, right? Okay. All right. Because that's a very different number from 50 million. 50 million is completely different. All right, let's see. With investing into the stock, how long will it be a return on or in dividends, if any? There will be no dividends. All right, there will be no dividends. We're just going to massively increase the value of our stock so that any investor who actually has stuff will be able to either flip their stock in 3 years, or we're going to split our stock later on, and then you'll be able to just get rid of some in order to live well and keep the rest for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we want to keep everything in black hands. You understand? We just want to keep as much of the value in the black community as possible. This is a reason why I'm allowing the public to actually get investments into our company anyway. I could have got this money institutionally. You know, there's a lot of institutions out there I'm already talking to that would have taken the whole thing. But you know, I want to give you guys opportunities. You know, you guys, I've gotten so much money from you guys in the past couple of years growing. I kind of feel it's unfair to not allow you a chance to actually own a piece of the company instead of simply, supporting us on Kickstarter and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So this is a cool way for everybody to get in the game. And let's continue our talk. Now, I'm going to show you our website, so I'll show you a little bit more information about us. Let's go break that down real quick. Where's my video? Okay, there we go. Let's see what we got here. So, first things first, just want to see this, make sure that everybody can see what I'm seeing. There's a little bit of a delay. All right. So let's go to my About page. So, first things first, let's look at this right here. This is the website I'm developing for Black Sand Studios. I'm going to read this to you guys just because it's very important information. So basically, Black Sand Studios is a production studio dedicated to developing intellectual properties owned by Black Sand Entertainment. Founded in the fall of 2019, Black Sand Studios has acquired the leadership of Tiana Stay-Rat, to lead as animation director of the studio. With his guidance on the development and recruitment side, properties developed by the studio are guaranteed to be created at a top quality and on budget. But what is the most exciting thing about the studio is the traction the IPs have been developed, having accumulated over the years. Black Sands is the most popular black indie comic series in the nation, selling over 25,000 copies in the last 2 years. Being a stable and consistent guest at major comic and anime conventions around the nation, Black Sands Entertainment has proven their worth in this space. The studio is currently raising $500,000 pre-seed for Black Sands Entertainment. More information can be found in the link below. There is no more information here in this thing yet. Okay, we're going to put that in a little bit. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, this is our actual address. We have an office in Industry Park. Then properties and development. So basically what we're going to go is animation. The studio will focus heavily on developing properties completely independently and using a disruptive distribution model. Most of the skilled labor will be done in industry veterans, while busy work will be outsourced. 2D and 3D animation will be our core focus. In addition to animation, the studio will help develop assets for our distribution platform, BSP, Black Sands Publishing. This application will allow black content creators a platform to distribute their content directly to their core audience and benefit from it. Licensing. Due to our independent business model, licensing will be a top priority and we will be able to rapidly grow our company valuation once we complete our slated productions. Black Sands of Seven Kingdoms. For all you guys who are new to this and don't know about our properties, here's some information. Black Sands of Seven Kingdoms. This Shonen Jump series based on ancient Egyptian mythology has had unprecedented success over the last few years. It is a prime candidate for franchise of the decade if we play our cards right. Black Sands will be the most expensive production campaign to keep the quality of the comics. Mori's Family Adventures will focus on short mini-series episodes running no longer than 5 to 10 minutes each. The episodes will feature world locations and will be a strong play for international grants from governments and or businesses. It also promotes positive images of black families worldwide. Lastly, Cosmic Girls is about black girls don't get enough original content, and Cosmic Girls is the solution. This will be a 3-part feature film series following the amazing bounty hunter Karina on her quest to take on the biggest bad guys in the universe. No more Love My Hair books. It's time to give these girls a hero. Lastly, on this page, I say this is my quote, all right? This ain't nobody else's quote. This is my quote. It is, the last time there has been a big budget production of African antiquity was Shaka Zulu in 1986. 35 years is enough evidence to prove that we must build it ourselves or it will never happen again. All right. Now, before I go into the next section, let's go back to the room so I can see what you guys are saying. All right. I'm back in here. All right. So let me go look at what questions have been asked so far. Unrelated question. Are you guys having another market seminar training? When will it be the next time you guys will be in Baltimore, Maryland? Hey, Kylo Allen. Actually, I'm going to be at Baltimore Comic Con. So catch me there. All right. I'm going to be at Baltimore Comic Con. You're going to be able to see me. You can be rap with me. All right. Especially if you go into that convention. All right. We're going to be there. We're going to have 2 tables. It's going to be fun. Actually, one of my students are going to be there. I think it's Gambit. Where's Gambit at? I know he's here. Yeah, he's here. But Gambit's gonna be there, you know, and he got his book. He finished his book under my course, so he's gonna. Now I'm gonna see how he could do in front of customers. All right. So let's see. Let's see. So Xavier Stewart says 5 to 10 minutes needs to be longer. What Xavier Stewart does not understand necessarily, and this is not his fault, is the way animation works. Certain series demand certain amount of time for their development. So when we look at Maury's Family Adventures, what we want to do is engage kids on YouTube. All right? In order to engage kids on YouTube, you need episodes that are no longer than 5 to 10 minutes each. All right, 5 minutes is actually considered a commercial to YouTube. So you can actually place Maury's Family Adventures entire episodes in the middle of Ryan's toy review. I could literally place a full episode of Maury's Family Adventures right in the middle of episodes of Ryan's toy review. Think about how crazy that would be for the success of Maury's Family Adventures. That only happens if you make an episode that's less than 5 minutes long. These are real strategic lengths that we're talking about when we're talking about Maury's Family Adventures. We want to be able to basically implement, push it into places where it normally wouldn't fit. All right. Is there a place where this is written so I can read over in detail? Love your content and depth. All right, Joshua Bent. Yes, the website's not up yet. It should be up by Monday. But basically, that website is going to have all the information on there. It's going to have access to our first. It's going to have access to our financials from last year and all that crap. All right, so you'll be able to check all that stuff. It's going to have everything on there you'll need for investment. Let's see what else. I hope you. So the 5 to 10 minute episodes is for Maury's Family Adventures exclusively. All right, Black Sands: The Seven Kingdoms will have full episodes similar to most animes out there. You know, Shonen Jump series, 24 minutes long, something like that per episode. 13 episodes in the first season. All right, that's what Black Sands is going to be. All right, and Cosmic Girls is going to be an hour and a half for 3 straight films. All right. All right, let's go back into this. So we're going to do the animation. The animation is going to be done in-house. So last time, and this is a big problem I had, when I was developing the DVD from last summer, all the way up until now, I was using a studio to do the work. Right? We didn't really have that much budget to create the pilot, so it was slow, very slow, and also had a problem with consistency. But now I have brought in an animation director that will never let that happen again. Everything will be done in-house, so no more outsourcing or letting somebody else manage the production. It's going to be done in-house. Let's go into that section right now, just so you guys can understand what's going to be happening, all right? Let's go pull that up right now. So, boom, boom, boom. All right, so let's go into this a little further. So, first things first. Black Sands Entertainment was founded in 2016 by Manuel Godoy and Giselle Godoy. In 2017, they launched the title Kids to Kings as a comic book about ancient African antiquities. Focusing on empowering youth with rich stories of the past, they had major success raising funds through Kickstarter, Patreon, and other avenues. To date, they have sold over 25,000 physical copies of their books, raising over $140,000 through Kickstarter, through crowdfunding websites, and published over 12 books in 2 years. They also secured major endorsements from Michelle Obama, the Schomburg Center of Harlem, Reed Pop, and many other major influencers in the space. If any company is positioned to take on the industry, it is Black Sands Entertainment. All right, so studio key members right now, and this is still actively being developed, but I'm the CEO, obviously, and he said the major things you need to understand is that we are a service-disabled, veteran-owned business, right? We're certified. That means that we might have economic grants that other people will not be available to get. I'm obviously established writer and businessman, especially on social media. That's one of my major key points is social media. I seem to be pretty good at that, you know. But the important thing is this guy right here, all right? This is our new animation director. His name is Tianis. And let's just read this so you guys can understand what I'm talking about, all right? Tianis has guided strategic development of many studio productions, workflows, and pipelines, the recruitment of critical key personnel. As an animation veteran of 20 years of experience, he has worked at Disney, Pixar Canada, Image Movers Digital, Rainmaker Entertainment, and Dream Quest Images, with credits on Meet the Robinsons, Bolt, A Christmas Carol, Armageddon, Mighty Joe Young, Mars Needs Moms, Chronicles of Riddick, Creed Dan, and Inspector Gadget, among others. All right, this guy is fucking loaded. All right, this guy has a lot of experience at the highest levels of animation. Okay, we're not talking about somebody who knows how to animate well. We're talking about somebody who, at his current studio, Braun Animation, which he's leaving for us, right? The current studio he was at, he joined them when they had 7 employees. He recruited over 130 animators for their studio, where it's at today. He has ran the development of their 2 biggest shows, like Willoughby's and Henchmen. All right, these are major films that were created in the United States and Canada. All right, this guy knows what the hell he's doing, and he's leaving them to develop exclusively Black Sands properties from now on. All right, how crazy is that? And this was kind of a secret for a while until we officially secured him, but now that he's with us, it's time to basically wow out. All right, so let's go talk about that. All right, let's get that conversation going. Boom, boom, boom. Whew. So basically, that is the information about. That's the biggest reveal that we have for you guys, is that Tianis is now officially the animation director for Black Sands Studios, and he's done so much stuff at the highest level. Okay, we're not talking about somebody who's been animating and drawing pictures. We're talking about somebody who's overseen entire studios with hundreds of millions of dollars in budgeting and did everything on that level. All right, so you need somebody who can basically keep things on budget, get licensing in multiple different countries, understand the business side of animation and what needs to be going down. That's the guy. All right. Okay, so let's go look at some of the things that we are saying. All right, how will I make a return from this without dividends? All right, so Admire Kashiri. Let's say you invest $1,000, right? Let's say you invest $1,000. By the summer of 2020, after the pilots are released, you will own $1,500 worth of stock, because that's basically how much the stock is going to grow in that time frame right after the pilots are created, because it's going to set a precedent. It's going to show that we clearly have the ability to create an amazing product that will eventually be licensed out to distributors. All right, so instant evaluation increase. All right, if you sell your stock at that time, you'd have received that much of a return, about a $500 return if you sold your stock. But why would you do that? Why would you sell your stock that fast? So in 3 years, this is a big milestone. We will have completed a series. It might be all 3 series. It really depends on how much money we raise in the next round. But really, we're going to at least complete at least 1 series. At that point, we will have a minimum of a 900% increase in value. Period. We'll have a 900% increase in value minimum the second we finish that production. It's just the way the industry works. Tianis broke down the numbers himself. He said based off of licensing and based off of merchandising and everything else that are consistent in the industry, as far as like this is consistent. So it doesn't change much between good productions and bad productions. Once they hit this level, they automatically hit X amount of numbers, you know? And that's where we're going to be sitting at. Now, if you want to go and sell your slice of the pie at that point in time, congratulations. You could do that. Or you can hold on to it. We're going to be breaking down the stocks, obviously, so people can actually split up their shares and be able to get rid of some while holding on to the rest. But for the most part, people have the option to get in or out whenever they feel like it. All right. Once we're done with that, we're most likely going to go IPO. Right. We're going to go public, and we're going to fucking raise a ridiculous amount of money, you know, because we've proven that we are the best when it comes to black animation in the industry. So that is your return on investment schedule. That's how it looks, right? The reason why we don't pay dividends and the reason why we won't be doing stuff like that is very simple. We are trying to grow as fast as possible. We just don't have time for it. We have to go forward, and we have to move as quickly as possible because everyone else that has tried has failed. They have failed. They are not aggressive enough. They're not bold enough online. They're scared of repercussions from the industry, and we're not. And we have survived for 2 years. We could survive for 3 more and hit that milestone. So that's why we're not doing dividends. We're giving you a piece, and if you don't want it, it's all good. You don't have to take it. We got plenty of industry people out there who will. All right. So thanks so much. Now let's open it up to everybody again. Let's go ask those questions. Any questions you got, put them down here, and I will answer them. We're still developing the website, so the website's eventually going to also have information about the application. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about the application, the revenue generating ability of the application, like how we're going to make money, how we're going to allow creators to grow. So if you're a creator, you're going to look on there and see how you can actually use the application to your benefit. We're going to explain how we're going to be distributing through our application so that people can only watch our content, can consume our content through our apps. So we're not giving Amazon a slice. We're not giving Netflix a slice. Everything's going to be done through our stuff. All right. That way we generate all the funds. All right. We're already pretty big on social media. So what we're going to do is basically get a whole bunch of other influencers, pay them to be a part of our circle, and then we're just going to oversaturate the market over and over again whenever we have anything new coming out. Dex RE. If I went to invest $3,000, can I do so? Yes, if you are an accredited investor, or if you are a Kickstarter or a Patreon member. All right, that's at the beginning. All right, that's the private round. You can do that, but you can't do that prior to the private round. Let me see if I can get that link up for you guys, because I have a file for you guys that I want to give you. So let's see. I'm going to send an email to everybody so they can go and fill this in themselves. But basically, Where's forms? Yeah, there's a form that I want you guys to fill out, right? And it's just it's a couple of quick questions. It's a way for me to basically follow up with people who are accredited or who are patrons and stuff, and basically go in there and see, you know, which ones I want to contact first. So I'm gonna be contacting you guys directly in order to get you in there, right? So let's see, this is the investment one. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's get the link. No, I don't want a pre-filled link. Want the link, and I'll shorten the URL. Bam. All right, so here is the link to the, what's it called? You can fill it out now, or you can fill it out later. All right, but that's the form. All right, you fill that out and you tell me what you want to do and how you're gonna do it, and we'll contact you in the next 2 weeks and go through the process. All right, I have a lawyer specifically working on this corporate stuff only. That's all they're doing, is working exclusively on this investment package. All right. All right, let's see here. Let's see. So Yak Diesel says, how much company stock is up for grabs at the moment? 10%. We're giving up 10%. All right, 10% of the company is going in the pre-seed round. As investors, will we have updates on financial statements? Yes, let's see. So let's see. I wrote this down specifically to answer to that question. So let me go ahead and read what I wrote. That way I make sure I have it right. It's accountability. Where is accountability? I know it's here somewhere. Okay, checks and balances. All right. So what I wrote down for checks and balances, as far as like what holds us accountable, is this: all film expenditures and budgeting will be given to investors. So you're going to see our budgets for our films and the application. You'll be able to see it, exactly how much we're doing and how much we're spending on the monthly. All right. We also will have we'll also have quarterly investor meetings in New York City. All right. So, you know, if you live in New York City, or if you go to New York City often, you can come and actually attend our quarterly investor meetings. You also will be able to stream it if you're not local. Right. You can stream that investor meeting. But basically, you'll be able to come down and, you know, check it out. One thing is, we do have an office here in Brooklyn. So, you know, as long as you set up an appointment, you can come in and talk to us. That's not a problem. And, you know, it's very real and open. It's not like some hidden society or something like that. I'm not some dude promising you to build Black Wall Street or something like that. I'm making films and animations that I know are hot already because it's been proven. That's it. I'm not trying to go and sell people pipe dreams about the great black dream and we're going to rebuild, you know, ain't none of that stuff I'm talking about. I'm saying let's go and break the blockade that Hollywood has over black content, and let's make our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's make some money doing it. All right, let's see what Kylo said. Kylo said, you said no Netflix. Have you heard of Quelly TV? Okay, yeah, I guess I messed that up. Yo, Kilo. All right, so let's see. Have you heard of Quelly TV? Yes, I have. They're not strong enough. All right. I want to be very clear with you guys, okay? The reason why we're doing what we're doing is because no one is strong enough to make a difference. They're just not. They're not strong enough to make a difference. We are. That's why we're going to force this issue. That's why we're going to move as fast as possible. And while we're doing that, we're going to gobble everyone else up, all right? If they have content that deserves to be out there, if they have something that deserves to be successful, we will gobble them up and we will get them on our platform. That's what we're going to do. But we will not work with others. We will not go and try to get on their platforms. We won't do any of that because they do not move strong enough. They're not decisive enough to make these plays. All right, these companies haven't grown. They've been stuck in their place for a long time. We grow rapidly. We've been growing for 2 years, and we are going to move as fast as possible. And anybody who doesn't get on that train is just going to be left behind. This is the way it is. But we got to win, all right? We got to win. We got to get this blockade knocked out. We got to move so fast that they don't even know what the hell happened. And then once they go and see us and they're like, hey, can we work with you? We say, nah, but you can sign right here and put your content on our platform. That's what you could do. All right, so Shamari asked a good question. Is this a one-time investment or is it a recurring type thing? You can invest as much as you want until the investment round is over. So you can invest, like let's say you want to get, because you only have available to you $4,000, right? You're like, okay, I want to buy $4,000 worth of stocks, right? But then you go, oh, wait a second, but I have $3,000 more next month I want to go and put in, right? I just can't do it right now. You can do that so long as the round is still open. However, once that is done, you can't invest anymore. That's it. This round is over. Now, the cool thing about it is investors get right to first refusal. All right. So in the next round, so let's say I do my my seed round, right? This is the seed round in the summer of 2020, right? This is where normally I'd be getting much bigger investors, like really big investors at that point, right? However, I give everybody who's invested in us prior a right to first refusal to at least buy some stock before next people go in. All right, so this is a chance to basically guarantee that you can get an investment in, even though the investors are much bigger than they were before. You know, you talk about people who are investing like $1 million by themselves. You know, but we're still guaranteeing that you guys get a chance to get the piece of that pie before anybody else. All right, so that's the cool thing. It's one of the benefits of being an investor is you're basically pre-selected as an investor for any future projects. All right. Now, is there any more questions? All right, I have room for about 5 more minutes of questions, and then I might have to go. I'm still getting over a little bit of the overseas sickness, you know. Let me put that link right here. That way everybody has it. Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm here to answer questions. You know, I'm trying to make this process as transparent as possible. I think it's according to my lawyer, but I think we're probably going to release like the first 2 pages of our taxes from like last year or something like that on the website, you know, so investors will be able to see the financials that we had in 2018, right? And you know, just full transparency on what's going on. You know, we're not amateurs. We're pretty good at this, and it's time to roll out. Do you plan to have international outreach? Yes, absolutely, especially in countries that we're hiring people in. All right. I predict that we will have a lot of South African animators. So most likely, a lot of our marketing is going to be in South Africa since South Africans are helping the development of the production. All right? So stuff like that's going to happen, right? Wherever we're hiring our talent is most likely where we're going to increase our marketing at. You understand? The website will be up on Monday. Monday is when the Well, an accredited investor is not a patron member. All right, an accredited investor is a term that the board for investments in the U.S. says is someone that owns $1 million in verifiable assets. All right, so they have to file with the government to basically prove that they are an accredited investor, someone who's not a criminal or whatever, right? And they're allowed to invest in anything. They're allowed to invest in anything without any what's it called, like restrictions. You understand? So that's an accredited investor. That has nothing to do with Kickstarter or Patreon. Patreon and Kickstarter are just people who've supported us and invested in us prior. All right, and if a patron has been there for at least 3 months in the past, they're considered good. Like, the government won't question them on why they're being solicited for like investment, right? They have no questions for that because they consider you guys already have a personal connection to me, so you're good, you know. But somebody who just signed up for Patreon to invest, that doesn't work that way because they're like, oh, you did that after they were talking about investment, so they might question that, you know. So I say at least 3 months been in a Patreon. That's people who are good enough in order to get into the first round, and that's what's up. Triggerfish, most likely. Triggerfish, I like triggerfish. I really do. I like triggerfish. I like Milaf. And what's the other one? What is the other company that I like? These guys are cool, man. I met their directors and stuff. These guys are pretty dope. Let me see. The other guy. Let's see. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Mind's Eye. Yeah, Mind's Eye and Triggerfish. I like these guys, man. These guys are good, man. They're really good. They got great personalities. You know, the people in charge. You know, I definitely see that we might be working with them in the future. You know, I really like their work. Let me see what else. Oh, so, well, if you're not a Patreon member, you wouldn't know. Let's see. What am I going to do? Oh yeah, here's a big thing that I know, and I want you guys to all remember. Basically, when it comes to people working together in the United States, there's the idea that big fish can't work together. You know, when you're in a different country, you know, if somebody has a great product and a great idea, other people tend to resonate to them, even though they're really good themselves, but they tend to stay in their lane, right? They do what they're good at, you know. But in the United States, anybody who's worth their grain of salt, they feel like they have to compete directly with everybody around them. You understand? So like comic book developers, they all constantly compete with each other. They never like collaborate. They don't do much together. You know, people could be struggling with sales, but not like work with somebody who's doing exceptional with sales. This just happens in the United States. Everybody wants to be the guy. Everybody wants to be the rich guy on the hill who's running everything and doing all the work. But at the end of the day, there's but so many people who can actively lead a movement. You understand? And you know, I've talked to all these guys before. I've talked to many people in the industry. And at the end of the day, you know, I just got to be able to pull it off myself, you know, because I have a really good skill with people. I know how to get people together and knock stuff out. That's why I developed 12 books in the same time my competitors built 3. You know, they made 3 books in the same time period that I pushed out 12. Why? Because I know how to finish stuff. I know how to get things done. And the bottom line is, you know, the only way that these people will ever be able to work with me is if I surpass them so catastrophically, right, that they have absolutely no chance of even somewhat competing with me. And then they'll freaking work with me. You understand? Then they'll be like, hey, let's go work together on this. And you know what? I'm going to let them in because that's just the way America works. You know, I'm not going to go and be like, well, you weren't down with me. You weren't down with me when I was on the come up. So why should I go ahead and help you now? That's very different. All right. I know how America works. I know the idea of, you know, anybody can make it. I know the idea of America, and the idea of America corrupts the hell out of our people. All right. It corrupts us. So I know that these people aren't intentionally hating on me, aren't intentionally like setting me up. I know they're not intentionally doing that. It's just the competitive nature of Americans. We don't work together like that, you know? So when I get out there and the app blows up and everything else, I'm still going to bring all these cats in. All right? I'm only going to do that, though, because I know that they probably would have been in the entire time if they were from another country. But because they're from the good old USA, they feel like they have to fight to death on competing with me, regardless if I'm already beating them. They still have to feel like they're their own identity and they can do everything themselves. And, you know, that's just America, man. Two years. It took 2 years to make 12 books. But yeah, that's it, guys. I am done for the night. I hope you guys got your questions answered. The video is still going to be on our channel. It's going to take like an hour or two for it to actually like reload, but it is going to be on the channel for everybody to use. You know, so if you need any questions asked or you need to show somebody else, just show them the video that's about to load up. That should definitely answer most of the questions. The website will launch on Monday. I'll send an email out that for all you guys so you can see it. Fill out the form in the description. All right, in the description you see a form. Fill that out if you plan on investing. It just gives me an idea of who you are, how much you're planning on investing, and whether you're accredited or not. All right, this is important questions because I'm not going to just do like an open call and say, hey, investors, come, because that's illegal. That's illegal when you're raising capital, right? That's illegal. So you have to know people. So I have to go directly to a form and basically look at that and say, all right, this person right here has talked directly to me about this or whatever, and I'm going to talk to them directly about investing in the private round. You understand? If I said, hey, everybody, give me money for my thing, that's totally illegal. All right. So let's get this done. All right. We're going to raise this capital very quickly. And we're going to start production on Black Sands, the animated series, right away. All right. Black Sands out. Appreciate it. Sing Quan, no, this will not be the only Q&A. All right, I'm gonna be doing more Q&As nowadays, especially since we finally finished everything. I'm also gonna have some Q&As from other members of the team. All right, so other members of the team are gonna get on here and answer questions as well. All right. Good night, guys. See you later.